Hello, everyone. Welcome again to another episode of Impact Pod. And today we have a very lovely topic to talk about. But before we start, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Soji Adeniyi. Please, can you introduce yourself for the audience?
I'm Soji Ali by name too.
Okay. Can you introduce?
And my name is Bomi.
Can you introduce?
My name is Nado.
My name is T for Tony.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Well, let's jump into today's topic. Today's topic is, how do you handle childhood trauma before it destroys you or before it makes you uncomfortable in life? So I would throw that to the house to know at least what do we understand as trauma, at least.
So, if you mind me starting,
Yeah, no problem.
I feel like if you're talking about an African home, first of all, do they even believe in trauma as a child? You get what I'm saying? And when you want to discuss trauma, they'll be like, "What is that? Oh, somebody hit you when you were young, so you keep calling it trauma. What do you mean trauma? Explain trauma."
So,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand you.
And then after that, it's accepting that you went through something like that.
Okay.
After you accept, like, so if you're alcoholic, you have to know that you're alcoholic. Some people can be doing something, don't even know that they have that addiction or whatever. So the first step is acceptance. Then you'll figure it out.
Okay.
I have a different angle. First of all, what do we understand by the word trauma? A trauma is like a long-lasting effect of an event that you pass through or happens to you. It can be psychological, it can be physical, it can be emotional. So that is what I really understand to be the meaning of trauma.
Yes.
But like she rightly said, I don't want us to seclude it to like an African thing.
Yes. Yes, sure.
Because trauma is a global thing.
It's a
a general thing that happens in everyday life and society.
In an African home, you can't say nothing about trauma. Like, what is trauma? You go tell your daddy, "Yo, I have trauma, childhood trauma." Would you?
No, you see. But things are changing now. Because
Yes.
on the more serious note, things that we went through, kids of nowadays, because of social media, because of
Civilization and stuff like that.
things are changing. What some of us went through, especially me, if my dad is watching this, I know you're gonna be like, "Oh, really? You this boy?" It's true, because some of the things I went through with that man was like, I think of it nowadays. I said, "Damn, that's a real child abuse." Yeah.
But another way around, it was a kind of, bringing you or grooming you.
Yeah,
to
grooming
become
me,
what you
but
need to be
at
in
what
future.
expense, bro?
But that's the best. That's the best thing they know at that point in time.
But you know what is funny? I'm actually going to use my personal experience
Okay.
with that. So when I was little, I cannot do 1 week without my mom beating me up. Like serious beating.
Hey.
That I mean,
I see. That's why you're tough. This
so like when I came into the United States and I see how things are being done, and I realized that is like a real child abuse.
Exactly.
Like
That's
a
just
real
it.
child abuse.
but-
But then there was a time I called my mom and I'm like, "Mom, do you know you beat me a lot?" She was like, "Yes." I'm like, "It's not nice. Like I was just trying to be a child." And you know what? I'm like, "Thank you."
Exactly.
At the end of the day.
At the end
Exactly.
of it.
Yeah.
Exactly, that's where I'm going.
I'm
Exactly.
like, "Thank you," because it also depends on the way I want to like react to it. Because some people, they wouldn't forgive their mom for that.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right.
So like my own way of dealing with it is accepting it as a way of training me, and just because that's the only way she
They
can think of
understand
training
at that
me.
point in
But
time.
the truth is this: sometimes I don't want to see that as trauma, as being traumatic. On a more
is.
serious note, because
It is.
no, because you know why?
Why?
If you really went through or go through trauma, there's no way you're gonna thank whoever made you go through that trauma. No,
So
you-
here's the thing. Like I said, it is the way
You perceive it.
I reacted to it.
yeah. Because that's why I say
Because I remember one time, like, I fear my mom more than God.
Oh,
It's
that's your
always
live.
that
That's
for
your
any
that's your living
African,
God.
person, right? Our mom is always very harsh when we're very young then. But to some extent, to me, it's just like upbringing in an African way, right? Which is not too right. And if we should look at it in another angle again, when we have all these sisters, brothers, which we normally, they normally bring to our homes for
Holidays.
I mean, helping us or whatever. Like the way some family treats such people, it's damn crazy.
But
Whereby you're giving your children
Rice.
best fruit to eat,
And you give them gari to drink.
you're giving other.
And those kids that you do like that, because I'm gonna give you, and I can't say whatever, but the kids that you treat like that are the kids that you don't know. Those are the ones that are the lawyers today. Those are the ones that are the
exactly
doctors.
where I'm going.
Those that are like, you think you're mistreating them. Some people, it depends on how you take the trauma too. Because we grew up like when my mom left. My mom left us in Africa when we was really young. You know, I was with my dad, my sister. They went to boarding school and everything like that. But I was very spoiled. You know, my older sister is a doctor. Like, she's a doctor today, right here. And she had the chance that she was going to get married at a young age and just be a perfect housewife. But because of the traumas and stuff that we went through as a child, I didn't get traumatized by anything. Like, I'm very spoiled when it comes to my father. I get everything.
we wanted to do.
So, even till today. So, but my sister, my mom leaving, she took it as it was a trauma to her. So that when she's so attached as a doctor, she's so attached with her kids. She's so overprotective of her kid. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Because of that trauma. So she felt like maybe something, that hug that she didn't get or whatever, from that something that traumatized her from at a young age. It made her, when she got to older, she's like, no, I want to go to school. I want to go to school. I want to go to school. So when she had her kids, I don't want nobody to watch my kids for me. I can watch my kids myself. I have to be this. I have to be that. Because she don't never want to be at that place that she felt when she was young again. And the same thing for me too. Like me, I wasn't traumatized or anything because I was with my dad. But after I left my dad and I got to America, the weather, the school, the everything, that was trauma to me. Leaving home where I can run around in this hot air every day. I had a driver to take me to school. And then I get here, I got to walk a couple of blocks in the wintertime in that snow to get on the bus, then go to school, and then I got to get back on the bus, go through the snow, everything. All of that stuff traumatized me. That the older I get, I'm like, hey, I don't even ever want my kids to be in America. I don't want them to grow up here in this weather and everything, because it traumatized me. You hear what I'm saying? So it depends on the way they everybody take their stuff. Yeah, sure. Some stuff, you could take that stuff and make it motivate you to be a better person. And whoever was sitting there, you think like, oh, they treating their own kids right. Those kids are going to stay like that. They're going to starve the rest of that, because they're going to be expecting you to keep, when they were young, everything, you handed it to them, everything. They won't know the struggle, how to fight for something, because they're going to expect you. Back at home, you see some grown men, so it'll be like 40, 50, and they're still sitting in their dad house. It's my dad house. I don't have to cook. My sister, everybody will bring it. And the whole world is passing.
So, I would say, are you trying to say that the African way of upbringing back in the day, are you trying to say it's traumatic in nature, or the way they do it?
If I say it like that, then I guess I'll say I'm wrong. Because over here, they'll tell you can't beat your kids. You can't tell them, you can't discipline them, like, you whoop them or whatever. Mm-hmm. Kids can call DCFS on their parents because the mom whooped them or stuff like that. Back at home, boy, you don't go look for that switch. The teacher is beating you. The auntie next door is beating you. Yeah. All of that. So you need that beating. Kids won't listen. You could tell
like
them
5 slap on your butt.
Yes. Even when you're standing outside, let's say in Africa, do you think at 9-year-old Even at 9-year-old, they'll send us to go buy alcohol and stuff like that. Oh, go buy me alcohol on the corner and stuff like that.
Yes.
Would you cigarette? Yeah. Would you smoke that cigarette on your way home? Would you? No, because everybody will beat your butt all the way till you get home. You won't drink it, so it's not trauma. You think it's like when we come see the American way. She said when she got here and she saw the way her mom was beating her, she's like, "Hey, that's child abuse." But Shade, that made you who you are today. You know what is right and what is wrong. Yeah. Over here, they tell you, "Oh, you have a freedom to don't beat the kids. Let them do what they want to do." Then the kids are lost. They're after college, they're sitting there, they have all these degrees, and they're still lost. They don't know how to communicate to people. They can't apply for jobs because they don't know how to talk to people because you didn't discipline them the right way. You see a grown woman at Walmart arguing with a 13-year-old because the 13-year-old mom is like, "Oh, you have the right to tell everybody this." No. 13-year-old talking to an old lady like that back at home, you will get whooped. Okay. But America, you can't whoop kids like that. I'm not even going to say whoop. In today's generation, you can't whoop kids like that. And then the kids are standing there talking to you like it's nothing. You know?
But do you know it's not all trauma you can just classify or let go easily. Some trauma will stay with you for as long as you are alive.
I have one kind of trauma experience that a lot of people go through and they don't even know it. Mm-hmm. For example, a lot of people are being raised by single parents. Mm-hmm. That alone is a big trauma that no one would think it is. You understand?
Explain, please. I want to learn. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true because like I've seen people that grew up with like just a single father, right? They don't have the love of a mother.
I don't know the mother's love. Okay.
You understand? So they can't even relate. Okay, now that is even different. There are some people, they live with both parents, but the marriage was very, very abusive, beating, fighting. And I would say to you, if I'm supposed to be in that position, I would rather pick the one with single parents, like the kind of experience.
Because that can stay with the child, and the child might think that's the normal way of life.
And you know what? When they get married, the husband will fight and everything. They will think it's okay. Yeah. But it's not. But that is what
childhood trauma that the child might think, okay, that's the right way to live. And when the child grows up without, doing the same thing to his partner.
If they see someone that treats them right, they wouldn't see that as love or something.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's like a big trauma so many people are dealing with and they don't even know it.
They don't know it. And it's affecting their relationships and it's affecting their homes.
There are many things that causes trauma.
A lot
of things. We ourselves, we can be the cause of our own trauma.
Yes.
Medically, you can be traumatized. Mm-hmm. The loss of a very close relative, of a loved one can
take you to that state.
Yeah, a lot of things can cause it.
There's different type of
but the truth of the matter is that if you go through trauma in the home, that will have a very long-lasting effect on your well-being for the rest of your life. Like she is saying, I know a lot of people, like she said, being raised by a single parent, by a single dad, by a single mom. I mean, for that kind of a child, there's no way you would compare. A child having love from both sides at the same time.
At the same time.
When we were younger, I remember vividly, my mom happens to be a teacher. We commit any offense, she'd be like, okay, your dad, let your dad come. Mm-hmm. It's not that she can beat us, but, as a mom, and I learned from that too. You don't let your woman or your lady make you go against your kids. That is why what is missing nowadays is like, no, can't you deal with your child by yourself? But the truth of the matter, the man is the enforcer in the home. Naturally. The man walks through the door, everybody's quiet. But when your mom, it's natural, but when your mom walks into the door, what will you do? Everybody just jump up. mommy. But
It's
when
the other way around me.
but when that comes through, yeah, it can happen like that. More maybe like in a very small percentage, but majorly in many homes, when the moms come through the door, you know what it means. Freedom to do anything.
Oh,
Talk to your mom.
No.
Yeah, you heard what I just said. I said
In some homes.
few exceptions. Yeah, but when the dad walks in most homes, then the dad is the enforcer. I remember we can't even sit down to watch TV with our dad.
No, you don't. No.
You don't.
The moment
I
he
look at
steps
kids
in
nowadays,
through
they
the
look
door,
up
you
to
are
their
off.
dad.
You're to your
My
rooms.
My dad walks in. He wasn't even chasing us.
He won't chase you. You
But
don't need to
naturally,
speak.
he'd be like, oh.
Naturally, you
You hear
stand
his
up.
footsteps. You hear his son. Oh, I tell my brother, oh boy, our room.
You room straight.
To your tent, O Israel. But it got to a stage. That was a day walking. We left the room and he called us back. He said, no, sit down. Because then we're about to leave high school. He was saying, these kids are getting big. They're not really having this conversation.
Relationship.
So that day he walking in was like, hey, sit your ass down. Why you
He
guys?
asked.
Whatever. Yeah, he said it in our language.
Baby Joko.
Yeah. So it was like, why are you guys running from me? And we were looking at, I look at Mr. I said, what is this man talking about? This is how we've been always running away from you.
Exactly.
He said, no. Sit down. Let's watch the news together. We were right there on our seat. We weren't even watching what he was watching. Yeah. But because the fear, it was just an unnecessary tension in the home.
Yes.
You understand me? But all those things, once in a while I sit down, I used to tell Soji, I say, oh wow, thank God for my dad. Only God knows what will I have done to. I remember when I was in primary, I can't forget this incident. When I first came to St. Francisco in Malaysia, he was teaching me stuff. I went to school the following day. Primary one, can you imagine?
Primary one.
Weekend, go and bring your bags. He checked my book. I scored maybe like 3/10. You know what he did? Down to my pants. I was naked. So he was whooping my ass. And one of his friends came.
Can you hear what he said?
And we never forget that. Yeah. One of his friends came. And he knocked on the door. He came. He saw me sweating with, stood down.
Stood down. Yeah.
And the man was like, yeah, Miss Dad, what has this guy done? And he was like, the man said, what? Because of this, you want to kill this boy? And I always thank God for this kind of sound foundation, academic foundation that man gave me, sincerely speaking.
But meanwhile, nobody to report
I'm
to.
telling you.
Nobody to report to, because that
When
is...
what I felt, no, I thought what he was thinking was that he needs to mold me from the beginning.
Yeah.
You know what you do? Give me a whole book. Oh, I give you this book. By next week, you are going to read it for me.
Everything.
You're going to recite it from first word to the last word. When we did the Incorruptible Judge. I don't know you remember that. I was the lead role.
Did he have to beat you though?
But by the time I got to primary 2, primary 3, throughout the school, that was the best school in the whole city then.
Yeah.
I was
in
the best student in my whole class throughout.
Yeah.
He didn't even bother to look at my book anymore. I was the senior prefect, but it was...
The foundation was there.
Yeah. But now, that's what I tell people. If your foundation is wrong, what would the righteous do? So the foundation is very important. That is what is missing in the society these days.
Yeah.
Like she said, she sent her kids back home to go and get all those slapping, all those sigbaron for us.
No.
Yeah. They will.
They will get it.
They will get it.
That's what people are thinking. It's not, because let me tell you.
will.
Let me tell you. No. Let me
Okay.
give you one.
Yeah, give me
example.
one.
Yeah.
Because everybody thinks that when you send your kids back at home, or they're gonna get somebody's gonna whoop them and
Yeah,
stuff
will.
like that. But then let me tell you.
Okay.
One of my friends she's older than me. She sent her daughter back at home. And when she got back at home, everybody's soft because the mom and the dad aren't there. The grandma's like, oh, don't touch my baby. The uncle's like, hey, don't nobody whoop my niece, so Her dad, because the dad, everybody's the one that's sending money from home. So they spoiled her. Everything she wanted to do, she did it.
Oh yeah.
You get what I'm saying? She never got whooping.
That's-
Yeah,
that's-
When
that's-
she
that's
came
too
back
bad.
to America, to her parents, now her mom is like, sit up correctly. Why I gotta sit that way? Because a woman sits that way. When back at home, she's doing this. The grandma's like, "Oh, is it because she just came? Leave her. You know, don't whoop her. It's okay. She don't know. You know, my American baby. No, don't just because you send, especially with me. Just because I send the kids, I don't mean somebody's gonna whoop my. Because I will feel it in my spirit. You touch my baby.
So
Story
you
for
go.
the gods.
Thunder you.
Yeah. Story.
La Bush.
That.
La Bush.
You know, I always tell them like, don't let them get away with anything. And my brother's very protective of them. My brother is like my son. When he don't talk to his dad or whatever, he'll start calling my brother like, oh, Papa is back and stuff. Like, Papa is gonna call you. Stop calling me Papa, because he's so spoiled and touched by by his uncle. So it's not specifically they're gonna touch you. Back in the days, you had to be scared that somebody's gonna whoop him.
Yeah.
But all that changed now. You don't have to whoop the kids. Actually, you can talk to them. Like he said, he got one bad grade. His daddy whooped the break up. When I got a bad grade, my mom came here when I was like 2, and I grew up with my dad. My dad put me in everything. Like, I was in karate, I was in horseback riding,
So
I was
let's
in
just say
piano.
technically your dad spoiled you.
Yeah,
and
but he
your
talked
mom.
to
Did.
me.
Yeah, he did.
No,
your-
me and my dad.
No, I don't agree.
Without
Your
due
mom
respect
is the
to me,
disciplinarian.
but
That
you-
is
yeah.
why.
No, but let me give.
He
No,
did.
let me
Forget it.
explain
Forget.
myself.
We know.
Forget. Don't
Listen,
explain.
Because
Don't-
when I did something when I was young, when I came, like here, my mom, when she came in my room, because in Africa, the maid cleaned up my room for me and everything. So it's so hard for me to stay, like, to
you
be
see?
picking, oh, let me do this, let me do this. When I came back, when I got here, my mom, she'd take 1 month and she go to your room. She'll bring everything out and whoop you, but she'll clean the room up for you.
That's an
So
African
now
woman for you.
I'm mad because I don't. So now when I first get my
So,
apartment,
that-
I'm like, oh, I got my own apartment.
So
You ain't finna come up here and make
that's
me
always
clean.
that's what I'm still saying.
That look, my friends will come over and they'll look at the place like, why you didn't clean up? Like, you know. But because she beat me so much up about me cleaning up, like now I'm by myself. I'm like, I have freedom. I don't have to clean up. But then I started like, okay, you know what? Maybe I should clean up. Like, why does this place look like this? But my dad, he didn't go out like I could tell you, my father hit me twice in my whole life. I got a whooping twice in my whole life. Can you believe that? And I could tell you exactly what happened, and he will apologize to me about it every time that he did that stuff. So, but my mom,
hold
she
on.
like,
My dad
because
told me
need-
one time, I don't want to take it again. I saw star, I peed. One time,
And then he
I
woke me
never.
up and came and gave me water. Like, can you believe that? How do you
no.
whoop somebody and then come here, drink water? No.
I mean,
Okay, I'll do like now.
Sergeant, please.
Okay,
The kind of trauma we're still talking now,
Yeah.
those are just the kind of normal trauma.
those are.
but
yes.
you know,
Beating?
yeah.
No.
I can
normal.
classify.
There are
I can
so
classify
many
that as normal
traumas.
trauma.
It's
Okay,
normal one.
let's go
No,
to some.
I was about to say something.
Okay.
Okay.
That if we're talking about like childhood trauma, I've seen people who were traumatized sexually,
Yes,
and those are the kind of worst of the worst trauma
Yes.
ever.
yes.
I've seen somebody, a maid who was being, chased around the house. I've seen a guy told me, or a lady told me one time, he said his baby daddy was sexually abused by the maid because he was the only son, and the mom thought he was taking care of the guy.
yeah.
Got him a housemaid, and when the moms go to the market, the lady
maid does
starts,
her job.
Benny, come here. Let me see the
weapon
cockroach
of
down
mass
That
there.
was
destruction.
even interesting. I've seen a person that was abused since he was young by a male, and that led him to become gay
What he is now.
Yeah,
because of what happened to him. when he
yeah,
was
it's
little.
true.
Very young, yeah.
That is true because I was reading like about
Baby,
sexually.
please. This one I want to say is very funny.
Okay.
And I'm serious about it. A lady here told me one time that her friend, when she used to warn her, you can't be bringing this guy, taking all these guys home, and she's the loud one. She take guys home. And when they, having a good time, she's always on top of her voice. Ooh, ah, ooh, ah. And the daughter felt like the guy was beating the shit out of the mom. And because of that, they had turned out to be gay. That's why I don't judge any people.
Wow.
I don't know the reason why they doing what they
There's
do.
trauma.
What led to that? Okay, for what you just said now.
Okay.
For how what will you tell? Well, the person needs to identify first
That they have trauma.
That this is something that I need to work on. But how do you advise, or what do you tell the person to? How will you tell the person to handle the situation?
So,
will you tell
a person, you can't tell a person how to deal with trauma. You know what I'm saying? They have to deal with them themselves. Like me, because I realized that when I work out, my dad, when I was young, my dad used to make me go to all these different sport classes. So the older that I got, I went through a big trauma that it changed my life. Like I was angry all the time. Like I can't explain myself. And it drove me to like doing a lot of crazy stuff to hurt myself and stuff. And I'm like, okay, I'm getting older and I'm just hurting myself more and more. I'm not gonna live long if I don't fix what's the reason I'm doing this to myself. Yeah. And I started like trying to communicate with people better. And I realized like I didn't want to do therapy because what the hell I look like going to go sit somewhere and I'm talking to this white lady that has a pen and a paper. Oh, tell me. No, I didn't want to do that. But then I had a friend that went through that same trauma with me. So when we're together growing up, she's always talking about like, yeah, this happened to me. But it was rumors going around where we already knew that happened to her. They just didn't know that it happened to me too. So when she talks about her or whatever, one day we'll sit back and I told her like, yeah, this is what happened to me. She was like, for real? That person did that to you? I'm like, yeah. She's like, girl, that's why you do this. And your mom think you're bad and stuff like that. You're not bad. You just, okay, let's talk about it. And every day I talk about it. Now it's so easy for me to open up to tell people like, this is what happened to me. And a lot of people never knew that before. So me I talk about it. And even though, so when I started talking about it, I ran into a guy that tried to use that. People try to use that against you. But really, that's you trying to deal with your trauma. So some people try to use it against you. Then I was like, okay, that maybe talking about it to everybody too is not helping me the way. Then one day, one of my friends, Oluwaseun, she like, come to the gym with me. I'm going to work out. I'm like, girl, I'm big as hell. I'm not for the. She's like, no, I'm taking boxing. And this was like 6 years ago. So I went for boxing. And
they beat the shit out of
man, like I never knew. When I was young, I took karate. I didn't beat the shit out of me. I took karate. But when I took boxing, it took so much discipline. Like, it's one of the hardest sport ever because you're fighting your body. You have to discipline your body a specific way. A step or whatever, you could switch, pull a muscle or everything. So it made me, when I'm boxing, I lose myself in it, where I'm releasing all the anger and everything that I held.
So you were just punching the bag, right?
I didn't even know that I had.
We should go gun range next
Oh
month.
my God.
I want to do that next year.
I went, that helped me too.
Let's do something here. Not everyone can be strong enough to handle it themselves. We are not the same thing. We are all different. Some people will need a little bit of push. Mm-hmm. Some people will need a little bit of assistance.
So I'm going to tell my own story.
If it's been heard,
I never believed I have trauma. Not for once.
You never
Because
believe
I
what?
don't even know what trauma is.
Yes,
You
I know.
understand? But then I have this repetitive behavior. Like I see patterns in my life and I have so many questions. Like, why is this who I am and everything? And that led me to therapy.
Yeah.
You understand? Talking to it, I'll tell you they did not give me no solution, but they let me have a better understanding of what's going on.
What's going on with
in
you?
my
Yeah,
life.
opening, talking about
because
it.
to put as what you're saying, many people, I believe, don't even know they have.
Right.
Trauma, yeah,
Right?
the first
Except
key.
maybe the ones that are, having maybe sexual abuse or
Yeah, those
Okay, guys.
But
What
internally,
kind of-
individuals have
I'm
one or
still
two.
going.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm still going.
Please
So
go ahead.
then I talk to the therapy and then that makes me understand why I behave some certain way, why I react some certain ways. So now there are some things that will happen to me naturally. I won't say to anybody because I don't have an explanation for it. So speaking to a therapy, I get to understand why. And I start talking to people. But then I don't talk to everyone. I try to talk to like people that will understand my situation. Because you will say to some people like they can't even relate.
Yeah.
They will like,
They just
oh,
want
you
to
just
ride
want to be that way. Oh, you just want to be that. You understand? So I look for people that can understand my situation, that. And according to when I was talking about my mom beating me, you understand? I have to forgive
Yeah.
to heal.
Yeah.
I try to see the
positive side
of it. So every experience that I have so far, I'm gonna be honest, it's hard. Sometimes it just breaks me down. But then I'll think about it's these things that made me who I am. The experience and everything. So instead of beating myself up about the situation, about the outcome, about how I've reacted and everything, I choose to forgive myself. I choose to forgive everybody. And I just keep talking about it and try to educate myself more about it.
Because
let me ask you girls, especially you ladies, what kind of advice are you going to give to a lady who's been traumatized sexually by her own husband? Yeah.
By our own husband.
Yeah, our own husband. You ask me how?
How?
They both married. They had no pre-marital sex. Unfortunately, they got married, and the guy was
Speak louder.
too big.
Speak louder.
So, I'm speaking to you. You understand me? I know that's what you want to hear. This guy, the husband happens to be too big for the girl, and sex became
Big trouble.
traumatic for the girl. So the girl is like, once night is coming, she's already like, oh my God, am I gonna survive? Yeah. I didn't read this from anywhere. The lady
I believe
told
you,
me
'cause I have
herself. She was like, oh God, am I gonna survive this again?
So if I'm talking to this person,
Okay.
like in person,
Okay. What
I'm
else?
just gonna make her understand that she can enjoy this like a better way. How do I say it? Like, let's say you had to go.
Okay. Yeah.
It's just the experience with your husband. That doesn't mean you can enjoy sex.
Okay.
If sex is as bad as you are experiencing it right now,
to the point you feel like it's abuse.
like a lot of people won't be doing it. People give birth and it's so painful. And they will
Man.
tell you like after childbirth they shouldn't like go back to sex, but sex is sweet.
Not all sex is sweet.
That orgasm part is
for
very
me,
wonderful.
Okay, so you please. That is for the ladies. They pause it.
So
They didn't give me
the
a right answer.
Yeah.
The right answer is that, first of all, if she's taking it like it's a abuse, what I realize is like you have to calm down, relax your body, take this because you're already in a, how do you call this?
Committed relationship.
Committed relationship with this person. You're closing yourself. What happened to you that you're holding yourself? It's all about trauma too. Like
How about this? Why not? Did she like try to have a conversation with the husband and how she like communication?
Yeah.
Like
we
But it's
discussed
not
the
about
last
how
time.
he
the
do it.
last
It's
time like it's
But the problem is this, in like most African,
We're joking with this thing, but
No.
that's what someone is
Because
going through.
let me tell you.
Okay.
Listen, I went through that before. It was too light, and I was trying to the point that whenever nighttime is coming or when he's coming home and stuff like that, I'm like, oh my God. So to the point I used to sleep in the living room. When it's nighttime, I'll fake like I fell asleep in the couch, So he'll go in the room and he'll fall asleep, and then I'll go in like 7 o'clock. Like, damn, I gotta get dressed and go to work.
no, the thing.
But for how long?
No.
Well, I didn't until my older whatever. They came and told me like, look, I know you're scared and that's gonna kill you, whatever. But look, it's not gonna kill you. You're gonna have kids and they're gonna go through there. You have to relax yourself. You love this person. It's your body. It's a mental thing that
And
you're doing.
I'm not even blaming the lady. It's the husband.
Why?
It's
for,
not
for
husband now.
carrying a weapon. Or
No, it's not like for carrying. You can carry.
person of
See, you can carry big weapon.
Yes.
I don't even know how to use very well.
Yeah, you're right.
But that's
Maybe
where
it's just being too rough. Maybe
No,
there. If it's too big, then it's just too big.
The way I see it, no,
because your
no,
back will be hurting. The pain, the thought, everything.
no.
What you have to do
It's
is
because they are not having enough communication.
Yeah, that's
and most
it.
of the time,
what are they going
are
to
not-
communicate?
no,
Make it smaller?
No, they
Or
are
what?
not.
No, it's not about making it smaller. Like she's traumatized. Is she traumatized with the size or
The size.
the old
I
thing?
was traumatized
Just
by the size.
So, yeah,
Why is nobody listening to
it's
me?
like
Because probably they've not been, meeting themselves before they got
yeah.
married.
Yes.
That
It's
is
all these
one.
Christian brothers and sisters.
Them
Don't
too,
call.
of course.
Even if you are not Christian brother and sister, you have time to hug yourself. You feel
Yeah,
it, man.
yeah.
You be like, damn it, man. Is that thing real?
Brother in Christ.
what,
Actually,
I cannot believe
it's
someone is
really
traumatized.
happening.
Yeah, traumatized by size.
It's
No,
really happening.
listen, it's not about sex. It's
It's not-
about traumatized about the size,
size.
of it.
Yeah.
Oh, so
It's
just
really
the size?
it's painful because it's like every time you would get with your
That's why
spouse,
everybody
it feel like you're being
drunk.
And
raped.
the
different.
truth of matter is this: life is not balanced. What somebody is running away from, somebody is
Some people
praying
are-
to
No,
have
No,
that.
forget that. Whoever is praying for that, they can come carry it go. Because you're like, it's the pain in your back, everything. It hurts.
But why does it hurt? How does the size make the back hurt?
Charlie, because you feel it when you open up and it goes inside. Everything hurt. To the point where imagine having sex with your spouse and then you pass out.
Yeah,
Because of the pain.
yeah,
I like my auntie,
Painful?
like
yeah. It's true.
they told me like,
Absolutely.
look, it's okay.
If you don't mind, share how you scale through that level.
How you overcame it? Teach us.
It took years. Like we was together for years. I felt like I kept fighting the person. I kept running, and my family taking me back. Like, go back. You know what? You're grown now. You can't just run to your daddy house as soon as everything happened. So I go, and then it's nighttime again, and I'm sitting there like, oh my God.
Not
But
again.
it's a mental thing. I take a shot, take another shot, just relax. Take another shot, just relax. But after we kept doing it, I got used to it. But at first,
You should have played
I
this
was
song.
so
LL Cool J
traumatized.
doing
What you
it.
said,
That will have helped you a
no, I
lot too.
felt I was so hurt. Like I will fight. We'll fight him. Like and I'll leave bruises on them. In the morning, people like, what happened? It was oh yeah, she hit me with the lamp that was by the wasn't it? Why are you guys fighting? And you know
And you can't even say it out.
because but then I realized that it's because of childhood trauma because something like that almost happened. So I get scared when it's about to happen too. So I'm like. I'm thinking, but
That was where I was going to.
Yeah, I had to
because
realize.
I believe that for some people it might not be that, but for some people it might be the childhood drama they've not worked on themselves or try to communicate with people. And sometimes to communicate with people, they just shun you. They're like,
Okay,
it's
let
not a drama.
me ask you this question,
understand?
Saji.
Yeah.
Between a man and a woman, or between a guy or a lady,
Yes.
who speak out most about being traumatized? Who speak out most?
Well,
I think
that's
men do.
That's
right.
Yeah,
Men
we
do
men
more.
see it. We talk to each other. I don't know. I can't say everyone, so because some people will die with themselves. Of course. I believe some men we have that conversation within ourselves, and we get educated within ourselves. Some
You know why?
why?
Because you guys are not being judged.
Yeah.
But judged by who?
For
Yeah.
You don't
yourself, by
deserve.
yourself, by your
No. That's where
friends.
you get it wrong. We judge ourselves by educating ourselves. Okay, if I go and meet a colleague of mine or a friend, I say, I was trying to, have something with this lady, and this lady said, man, that thing is too big. The first thing a guy that's my friend will first of all laugh at me that
we laugh at.
yeah, we'll mock
Organic.
ourselves.
So
Like,
this is what you.
so
We
at
start
least
acting like this man.
Yeah.
And instead of us judging ourselves.
see, that's the truth. See,
So
the truth
And
is
that's
this.
so true because
He will first of all they will first
a lie.
No,
That's
the
why
truth of
I
matter
feel
is that
like-
you women are your own problem.
we are our own enemy.
you're your
and
own
you know
problem,
that's
yeah.
why me growing up, like when I became the woman that I am becoming more. I have more male friends than female friends
Because
I can talk to them
Yeah.
about
Most
everything.
ladies
Me and my
do say
guys,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
But to another woman when I'm talking, like if I go when I went to go tell my friends about, I can't tell them because after I told one of them, I'm like, oh yeah, it's that big. Then they want to go try
Right.
it. Or the other one like, girl, stop acting like a baby. I don't want you to be like that to me. I want you to talk to me about
But
how to
don't
do
get it twisted. A man to a man will still tell you, you are carrying this. Then after mocking me as a person, they will now go to
sit
to the
down and
situation,
discuss, yeah.
to the solution. You know what?
The reason
You
why
need
I
to
asked the
calm it
question
down.
I asked is this.
Yes.
There was a guy who said he was being traumatized by his wife sexually. You asked me why.
Why?
He said
And how?
he said the lady is the best thing that ever happened to him, but this guy is too aggressive when it comes to sex. Yeah, I'm telling
And
you.
he's scared.
You're scared.
And it's scary.
Yeah, he said
Seriously.
when this guy do all kind of thing, even when he's playing with his microphone, it's like she wants to take it off, tie it off his groin.
Man.
So what are you going to tell that kind of guy? You're going to tell him, hey, bro, you can manage it.
For me, I would say that girl's, should I say, libido is high.
It's not even a matter of libido.
No. I'm going somewhere.
No, hold on.
I'm going somewhere.
Hold on, Soji. Libido is different from being aggressive.
Wait.
Libido is like you want to have it, but even if this thing's gonna last like 5 minutes, it's like
Crazy.
Oh,
I'm going somewhere.
I'm coming for you.
See, the girl is not. Let me rephrase it.
Okay.
The girl is that kind of ladies. They love extreme foul play. It's called extreme foul play. There are some ladies, even before I know some ladies will tell you that they don't just get into the game unless the man or they've played. Some will handcuff themselves. Yeah. They will do all those shit. So some ladies are like that. But it now depends on the man. Okay, I'm into this game now. You guys need to sit down and talk.
Communication, you gotta have a safe word.
Yes, there have to be a safe haven
It's
in
the
there.
same like the last
this thing is
topic.
natural. Oh, sorry, but this thing is natural. Let me tell. I always tell people there are things you don't teach people how to do. You don't teach people how to eat, and you don't teach people.
How to
That's
do that too.
bullshit.
Yeah,
You teach.
No,
I disagree with that.
I don't believe that.
I
That's
disagree.
Okay. Sorry. When you were growing up, did your dad tell you, "Hey, Soji,
Put it inside your
this is like this thing when you grow up?
Yes.
it's gonna this
Okay,
is what."
I would tell you now.
We find our
I
way
would.
to
I would
Yeah, that's
no.
what
I'm not saying that type of teaching.
Okay.
I'm not saying that type of teaching. When it turns to that trauma part of it, is not if they talk, it's not left to the both of them.
No.
To talk.
I will go back.
Wait,
I'll go back to our last discussion. What she
Okay,
said. Yeah, she said, "Get married to your friend who you can talk to."
But
Do you think I'd said
Okay, you
it?
see, regarding that particular aspect
Okay.
for the man and for the woman that you first talked about,
Okay.
you understand, right? Like, what was I gonna say?
it's gone.
Get a brain fart.
No, because see, all these things. those-
Okay, yeah, I remember.
Okay.
So you were talking about the girl is aggressive, like too much and everything, and it's too much for the guy, right?
It leads to him.
Right. Okay. So what if you now get a girl that is not even up to? What is it gonna do?
It will provide
You gotta
that.
talk to no.
Well, it won't.
He said,
Then you start
"Let me tell you
changing,
what the guy
understand,
said. The guy said the guy is always pressing his balls, trying to bite his balls. I mean, you
Yeah,
know,
I'm saying, okay, let's
you
not
have
say,
to be
let's
gentle
not
with
say
him.
this guy has like high sex drive, you understand?
Okay.
And he eventually ended up with a lady that does not even know how to do like
Do you know how the lady also will be feeling at that point in time? Because the lady will be scared that 5 minutes you are not done. 1 hour you are still killing me. The lady will be scared.
you don't understand what I'm saying? Like if they are not like right now, their sexual aspect is what is okay, the girl is perfect, she's awesome.
But the sexual aspect is the one leading him to that corner, to that trauma. How will he handle that?
So no, I'm not asking the question
The other way
in
around.
the other way around.
Yes.
You understand? This lady is perfect. She's everything in once, right?
Yes.
But then the sex sucks.
I believe for me, I'll still say it. Both of them still need to sit down and talk.
For real.
Because
So if they can
you know
talk,
why? You know why? This
so
is mine.
it comes to this that if
nobody-
they can
see,
talk
yes.
regarding okay, the sex sucks, they can also have a conversation, communicate. regarding the
How they can make it better. Like if she's being too rough and stuff like that, then she just don't know how to, be. A lot of people want to be a dominant and they don't know nothing about SMS. You have to teach her like, oh, let's go watch stuff. Because I realized, that I when I see the ladies wear with the leather and this whips and chains and all of that, I was like, ooh. But then I went to a party and I saw everything. I was like, wait, please don't choke me like that. Why are you choking me like that? And I'm like, okay, you know what? I realized it's levels to it. Okay, let me tell you what level I like. Grab it. Tighter, a little bit tighter.
That's just the part.
You need to communicate.
You need to talk.
He has to tell her.
Getting to the end.
No.
According to this pattern,
No.
if it is marriage,
Hey.
divorce.
No.
And they have to grow together.
Let me tell you something. If they divorce, for me, my own opinion, if they divorce because of that is.
Hey, guys.
Marriage is not a house. You can't
Ladies.
just throw it out.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
you can't
have
just
to
divorce because you're in
communicate.
trauma because
No,
of
we
sex.
grow together.
Hey.
That's why we're married, so we can grow together and learn.
You're getting this thing wrong.
Okay.
I always say there's no written pattern when it comes to hold on.
We agree.
Hold on. When it comes to sex,
Yes.
people who do that, who choke themselves to death.
Yes.
They never thought or planned to choke the lady to death. But they were caught in the thick of the action. So how are you gonna say, oh babe, when you were in the thick of the action, hey babe, hey, okay, let's
No, we communicate. That's what I say.
No.
We went to a party.
Why you acting
and
like
at the
that?
party, listen,
That's the book you read.
You have a safe word.
If a man
we
is
have to
traumatized
communicate.
because of sex with his partner, I believe they've not talked. Because the truth is this: if you're having something and you are holding me down too much, I have a hand. I would adjust your hand off. It's the truth. Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Because why you do
loosen it
that?
up a little bit.
Yo, calm down.
Please,
Temper
auntie,
justice with mercy.
I just feel like I'm not enjoying this.
Oh, I'm not enjoying
A
it.
safe word.
Actually,
if the safe word is
there must be
potato or
communication.
amala.
Yeah.
Let me
As
tell
soon as they
you.
choke you, you're like, amala.
Hey, no. Let me tell you this.
Yeah.
This is where everything is wrong.
Yes.
Most of the times, a guy can be too selfish in relationship and when it comes to sexual aspect. That is the truth.
It's both sex.
I say sometimes, and sometimes too, ladies can be too selfish. And sometimes a girl want to please this guy. Sometimes many men have lost their life because they're trying to please a girl because I don't want her to do this. You can't fit in. Let me give you an example. I'm not going to mention name.
They lost their life.
Hold on. Yeah. I know of a girl who told this guy, you know what? Our friends used to tell her, oh, I can squirt like 10 times. So she wasn't having the experience. And she told the guy, she said, fuck, man, if you can do this, you need to non-stop banging for the next 1 hour. That's when
They play.
who go do
No, and as far as I'm concerned, that one doesn't have trauma at all.
Is it
He's
between
living
her
a foolish
legs?
life.
Is it
If he's
inside
gonna
of her?
die, you don't have the capacity. You don't have that strength. Don't do it. That doesn't lead to trauma.
No, that is the problem. If a girl is bold enough, sincere enough to tell a guy, open up to you while you were talking, the guy will be like, is that possible? And you don't know. By the time I've seen guys who hear that, oh, really, 1 hour? I can do that. We start looking for something to take before he go meet
What
the
is it
girl.
called?
Anything they call anything they call it.
What is it called?
This is my own
Jetty,
take.
jetty.
This is my own take. For me, I believe that is not all trauma you can speak to someone about.
Exactly.
It's not all.
No.
Some you will speak to some people, they don't
understand you.
They don't understand you. They don't.
They're not the same people like you were saying.
They don't know what. They don't know how you're feeling.
And you know,
Sorry.
Okay.
Somebody shared experience with me of recent as regards the sexual abuse she had while she was young, at the age of 9 years.
Jeez.
And funniest thing, was that the person that did this thing to her was her uncle. Right? Meanwhile, the uncle has a daughter too, that they are both age mates then, and they are both close. Whereby the mom did not even know what was happening. And I now asked, how did you now manage
To overcome it.
the trauma? Because
She hasn't overcome it.
honestly, because
It's such a hard
she
thing to-
couldn't speak out to anyone.
Of course, because you're the
right?
bad girl.
And till date, she's still having that kind of stuff
In
in
her
her head.
She still have the PTSD. Yeah? I
Yes.
know.
Then another thing again, which she's still battling with, is the way that a trauma turned out to be aggressive. If not that, she said she's working on it presently. So the thing is, it has different angles to which this thing deals with human. But it's better said
Then
if
Oh,
it
yeah.
is in earlier, if you can confide
No, the
in
only way you can overcome
someone. But
trauma
if not, it lives in you.
is for you
and
to
probably
speak
one
up.
dies.
And you know what?
It destroys
The
everything
funny
in you.
thing about
You need to speak to
trauma,
a therapist.
I
Yeah.
don't think it's not gonna go away. It's just how you deal with it.
Yeah.
I have this older person. I really don't want to emphasize on how I get to meet this older person, right? She's probably like 90 years old. She has this trauma from our family whereby her father was standing up because she doesn't have like maybe brown eyes or some. She's not one of our children. Like they still live together, but she's the only one that is different. So that trauma made her into the kind of person she is. She is very, very aggressive. Every little thing, she snapped. You understand? And over the course of years, she has been working on it. She forgave her father. She understand everything. And now she's 90 years old. But that still hits her up. She understands very well, but she's even more angrier for the fact that she understands, and this
And
thing
so,
still has
yeah.
power over her.
So are we saying there's
no way to
there's
do-
no way to
It has to
Because
be
it's
a
been
way
part of
because
her, right?
Yeah.
And I believe
She
probably
now
there is
she
nobody to
understand how
counsel
it
her,
is, you
to
understand?
educate her on
And
how
I just
to
feel like it's
move on
old age
her
now.
life.
Guys, let me share my own personal experience. I know I'm going to get into trouble with this. That was the time I had edibles. I've never eaten it before. I've been around people who smoke weed. Once in a while, I get it, I hit it.
You're not speaking now.
But they give me, I'm not speaking to you, I'm speaking to the audience. Idiot. So somebody gave me edibles.
Unknowingly.
He knows.
And I was supposed to ask the quantity I'm supposed to eat.
Okay.
Oh,
So I got home, I felt like when I'm about to sleep. So I was watching the news till like 11. So around 11:05, I threw it. I ate it. Until today, I don't like to remember what happened in the night. I thought I was going to die.
was you like Friday when he was running down the street and then ended up in the chicken coop, naked and stuff? Was you like that? Tell me, was that you I saw in the chicken coop?
I thought somebody was shooting. It got a stage. I was hearing like a gunshot. Seriously. I had a gunshot one time. I was running. We're talking about different kind of trauma.
Yeah.
Right.
So I was like, am I running mad? I had to call Femi. Boy, come, you need to take me to the hospital. I'm about to die. He thought he could carry me. We got to the elevator. By the time we got to the elevator, his arm was about to break. He had to drop me down inside. I live flight on the elevator ground to the floor. Brought his car, took me to the hospital. The following day, they say, "Oh, we find what do you call it?
Substance.
THC." I'm like, "Yeah, I ate it." And the nurse was like, "Oh, really? Is that your first time?" I said, "Yeah, I've not." Say, "Oh, you got to. This is not good for you." I said, I don't even like it. I've been around people a lot of time, they eat it. But even because of what I went through, I don't like to remember that incident since then, because I felt like, I said, this is how people go mad, go crazy. because it was like somebody was shooting me, pa 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 pa, right inside my brain. Yeah.
But you know what's so crazy? A lot of people say that that's how when dealing with trauma and me dealing with trauma, I started eating edibles because I was angry all of the time because of me with the trauma, my childhood trauma.
You didn't eat the quantity I had. I had like
no. Listen. I really stopped and I thought like, wait, the sky was falling or something was going on. My heart was, I was so scared. But it made me not think about the stress and everything, the trauma and stuff like that.
But did it work?
But when you wake up, it's still there.
Yeah.
It's still there.
Yeah.
So yeah, that wasn't the way.
So,
let me tell you, trauma is such it's something in your life, like where you sit back when you're in you see that
in your
you're not
space.
in your space. I'll sit back and I'm like, I'm not at the same place that everybody want me to be, or I'm not at the same place that I would like to be in my life. Why is that? Like when it comes to relationships and everything like that. Like when it comes to, let's say, men, I don't trust men. Like because of my childhood trauma, I'm traumatized by men. Like I could be at church. I don't even like going to church because of my childhood trauma. I could be at church and the pastor is talking and I'm thinking like, yeah, that he's saying, but then he'll lie too. It's not right because of my childhood trauma. So I feel like every man that is talking to me and stuff like that, no matter how they say something, whatever, at the end of the day, they're going to switch it because of my childhood trauma. Where I feel like it's hard to fall in love because of that. So now I'm getting older and I don't want nobody near me. I like to be single in my own little space where I don't hear, but I can't live like that because I'm still battling that trauma. You get what I'm saying?
Even after counseling and all those therapies and talking to people.
See, that is why I said trauma. That was why I said trauma is not going to go away.
You had to know, you just know how to live with it. And accept it. And then one thing she said too, like I was holding it in because even though afterward, like years later, the person they apologized to me. They was like, I'm so sorry I did this to you. I'm so sorry that happened to you. But then I went through my whole childhood, like growing up, I didn't know the importance of sex. They'd be like, oh, keep your virginity until you're at a certain age or something like that. But because when you're young, when somebody sexually assaulted, when somebody took that right from you, like you've been raped as a child, when you get older, you're 16, 17, you're like, oh, it's nothing. Yeah. But then when you get to your 20s and your 30s and your 40s, you're like, damn, okay, people are talking about you because you didn't keep your leg closed or whatever. But you didn't know. You said like, oh, if that person took it that easily, so it's nothing.
It's nothing.
You know, and then you find yourself in a marriage, you can't talk to your husband about it because they're going to be like, oh, that happened to you. Oh, that happened to you. That's because you let that happen to yourself or whatever. You don't want to talk about it, especially in an African family. You can't talk about trauma and stuff like that because people are like, oh, if you tell people this happened to you, that makes you a bad girl. You did this before you got married. So they use it against you. Well, I found myself like, okay, you know what? Nadu, I forgive you for letting that happen to you.
You forgive yourself.
I forgive myself because I'm holding against like that person did this to me. That person did this to me. Right. That's why I'm like this. And I'm like, okay, you didn't care. Like, let's talk about sexually. You didn't pay attention. Oh, because guys want this or whatever and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's still hurting you because you let that trauma from your childhood when you got to your teen years. You're like, oh yeah, sex is nothing. But then you're here. You're like, you want to be in love and stuff like that, but you didn't pay attention. You didn't want to control yourself sexually or whatever. So you're sitting there. You're like, okay, that's because you're punishing yourself. Yeah. You're not the one that did it, but you allow it to happen too. So that all that trauma is in your head because you're feeling like, oh, I'm a bad girl because I allowed this to happen to myself. But then at the same time, you was just a baby girl. You was so young when it happened, but you're not that person no more. Nobody can hurt you like that anymore. You were strong because of what happened. Like I have to talk to myself all the time, every day. And I wish like I could be around my daughter and be like every day. But because of that happened to me, I'm like, I can't be around them because I don't want to push that energy.
That energy on them.
On them, that negativity on them. So no, I want to be by myself. And I go boxing, I braid, I do so many things just every day. So I won't think about that stuff. But that stuff happened for a reason. Listen, it happened so I can talk to other women. I could talk to young girls and be like, hey, this happened, but you are okay. You could deal with yourself. Like the trauma made you who you are. But it wasn't supposed to happen. That's
Yes.
not how life is.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But sex don't make you too. Even America marry a virgin, America, that's not you. Whoever you're gonna be with is gonna love you for who you are and help you and fight with you towards your insecurities, towards your. You could put all the walls and everything that your trauma. They're gonna be there with you and work with it. Like we grow together, and your husband is gonna help you grow through it. You get what I'm saying? So, but it was so hard getting to this
space.
where, because I didn't know, like, I didn't talk
You didn't know
about
better.
it.
But,
Yeah.
but it depends on who you get married to.
And my first husband too, you can't talk to him. I will never, because when he ended up finding out, like, oh, he like, oh yeah, so that shit happened to you. like that, like I could never, even when it came sexually, I could never tell him like, hey, I want some dick or some shit like that. No, it was whenever he was coming to me. But then I realized, okay, I'm not satisfied. That's not how I want it. This, now I told you I went to parties, like sex parties. I saw doms and stuff. I'm like, okay, I'm not into that. I'm into that. But even if I couldn't talk to my African husband, like, hey, I want to go to a sex party. They're like, oh, you like, where are we going? That's not to do because I wanted to learn more. But I never got a chance to experience that because somebody took that chance away from me. You know what I'm saying? And then with a family, be like, oh, you let that happen and stuff. No.
And another thing that is common with Africans,
it's your fault.
Like, no, it's that's where I'm going. You will see, maybe one other man abuse a little girl. Instead of these parents, the mother, they should go. They go and fight. I'm sorry.
Feel free.
Yeah.
They will blame the little girl.
Yeah.
It's not even about the little girl. I've seen instances where a lady went to a case of rape was reported at the police station back in Nigeria, and the cops were telling the girl, "So what were you doing there?"
Can you imagine?
After all, you walked.
They don't believe
by
that
yourself.
our society back home, maybe because
Back
of
then, though.
even till today,
Till today, it's still going on.
even till
It's
today,
still going on.
Still going
they
on.
don't,
be like-
we don't believe that
Like,
a girl. They don't believe that. It's just like if Nadu say somebody rape her, they be like rape you.
Rape you. It's
Are
not
you-
Nah,
possible.
Are you
once
blind?
You bed,
Yeah.
you open your leg.
See, can't you
and
see
let
what
it
you are
go.
carrying? You intimidated the guy, and the guy reacted.
Exactly. They're like, oh, look at you. You see your titties, see your shape.
You did not
It's
wear
your
cover
fault.
up clothes.
But I remember a situation one time in Ibadan, Nigeria. The child of the landlord raped a lady who happens to be the daughter of a tenant,
Right.
and they took them to this police station. And I remember that woman vividly. I don't think maybe she has retired now. And the woman was like, "Oh, you are the son of the landlord." "Oh, really? Oh, okay." You know what she did? She went to pick up the baton and told the guy to come to he was in the cell, and he told the guy to come to the cell. He said, "Pull down your trouser." And he took the dick, put it on the metal, and started beating the dick. He said, "I know your parents will get you bail." And
But before they
because
do
you
that,
intimidate the parent of that girl. But this one,
You
if you
remember.
survive it, I know for the next 1 year, you won't be able to meet any other guy.
Jesus
Okay, how
Christ.
about this kind of situation? It's also in Nigeria, like, okay, husband and wife, right? The wife came into
Please
the
don't
marriage.
let us. Please, sorry. Don't let us say Nigeria. It happens everywhere.
Yeah, I'm just saying
But-
my example.
but-
Okay, your example.
From-
Okay.
It's more different in our own culture. Yeah.
She got married to this man. She came to the marriage with a girl. You understand? And the man was abusing the daughter,
The daughter.
and this woman knows about it.
Oh, that one is a
Stay-
common.
stay-
This is a common
stay
occurrence.
because the
It
name of
happens there
marriage.
too.
Exactly.
Hey,
Like,
babe, hold on.
what kind
Oh,
of
is that
trauma
right?
are you
It's
doing to that
But
girl?
it's not right. And even if
The trauma that
if
you
the
did to
little
your
baby
It's not peculiar
tells the
to
mom,
Nigeria alone.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I've seen instances that happens there.
That happened
That
here.
breaks
Just to keep
my
your marriage or
heart.
something
Happens
like
here.
that.
Sorry, no,
breaks
what is
my
that
heart.
movie? Medea Family Reunion.
Yeah.
When the mother, she had two daughters. One of the daughter was young and pretty, so she was forcing her on this rich man.
Yeah,
that used to
where
be
the guy
her.
was abusing
So
the-
the older sister was telling her like, "Look, our mom only wants you to do that because she need the money from the rich guy." And the older sister was like, "Because even me, because they didn't have the same dad. The dad was saying the mom went into the marriage with a rich man. The little girl's dad, and the little girl's dad used to rape the older sister, and the mom let it happen because that old man was rich. So she said, "Oh, well, why would I care? Because my mother sold me for crack and this. So did you save our family because me letting this?"
That child is damaged.
Yeah, the mother is damaged, and she's telling her older daughter, like, "You saved our family because I let that old man touch you. Wow. Now look, we have all the riches." And you know, that messed her daughter up. It's because her herself, she went through that same trauma. Her mother sold her for crack. It's not just in Nigeria, because I'm from Togo. It are everywhere.
You know what I used
world.
to tell guys when they first come into America? I used to tell them, I say, if you have a girlfriend there, you're having a good time. If she says she's okay, so be it. Get your ass off her. You know, but you know, in Africa, when you're having sex
it's
with a
okay.
girl,
That's why they believe that you want to continue. Yeah, when you guys stop, no, that the stop means start.
when you say, we all guilty of it. Yes or no?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
But don't know so.
I'm telling you, like when I was saying the guy with the big stuff, it's like
but don't get it twisted.
Okay.
Right.
If they say stop. If you stop, they say, "Did I tell you to stop?"
No,
some do.
No.
Maybe that was
Some
when
do.
No,
I don't mean it like that. I mean another clown.
No. You can look at this. So you look.
Okay.
Stop. Oh,
So
stop.
there's that sound to stop. You guys are
No.
It's
Can you get the definition of stop?
In fact, I mean, it's very clear the way Nadu explained it. Now.
Yes, you had to see.
No.
Someone that is fighting you
that's
say
No.
stop.
If it's
that's
not coming
sluggish
physical
love.
fighting,
Stop.
then the man needs to
That is
stop.
the problem. No,
If that's where you're going,
that's the
People,
problem.
they don't see
No,
that.
that-
Stop,
When you're
stop.
screaming, I'm telling
No,
you.
some ladies will tell you stop.
Stop.
No.
But trust me, they will still look back and say, why?
No.
Because they might not be in their right
How
sense
is
at that
stop?
point in
That's a
time.
lie.
That is saying
That's the
stop.
problem I have
How
with
is she saying stop?
many men when
Did
it
she
comes
say
to
with her
sex.
eyes closed?
Many
Can you hear
Nigerian
this
men
thing again?
or
With the
African
eyes
men.
closed out.
No, Sergio, hold on. Because
Yeah,
I said it. Our society has risen to the level that women don't even really have a say when it comes to sex most of the time
Yeah.
in Africa.
Which is wrong.
You understand me? So the guy just come, he want to have some, get onto it. And the guy is not in the mood to do it. That's a big trauma too, because he's not in the mood. Maybe he's sick, maybe something's happening. Guy doesn't care because
just
I paid
cramping.
cramping.
Fucking
He come,
cramping.
Yeah, and he come,
And you get into
want
a
to get
fight.
it.
So
Because I'm
are you
cranking.
trying to tag that as trauma?
Yes,
Because I don't understand.
it is.
Yes, because
The consent is not
It's
coming
not-
from
yeah,
her.
The consent,
Right.
the consent is not coming.
Okay.
But will you say that is trauma?
Yes.
Because of the pain she was
Yes.
feeling as a then.
As a then.
And you still
Yes.
want to have your way
I
to,
would
you
not
know,
say
ride on her.
there are some men also that are not in mood, that are women are in mood, and they're like, you know what, I just want to have it.
That's a lie. That's different. Hold on,
why
hold on.
why
Let me
would
make
you
my
not be
point.
in the
No,
mood?
Why would it not be a mood? Can you hear this
Sergeant,
statement?
let me make my point.
I come.
Hold on.
Are you come?
I say I'm here. I'm ready.
Hold on.
What do you mean?
Can you
Please,
hear?
please give me just 1 minute to explain this.
Okay.
You know, I'm a man too.
Yes.
But you know, I'm a realist.
Yes.
I say it as it is. The truth of the matter is that when men tell me they get raped, I say, you shut the fuck up. Nobody.
It happened.
But it happened.
Hold on. I'm going somewhere.
Wait, rape what way? On the front or the back?
Hold on. Okay. It happens, right?
Yes.
But most of the time, it's more.
It's a lie. It's
Hold on.
because we
Let me tell you
no,
example.
I
Let me
disagree.
tell you
Sorry,
example.
sorry.
Hold on,
No, I want to
before
use
you
a friend of
continue.
mine.
I will do example, right? A man come to me, right, and was touching me. You understand? I don't want the sex, but he keeps touching. My body reacts to his touching. You understand? But my physical mind and everything
Doesn't want
I
it.
don't want to have sex with him.
But you're-
But he kept touching me, and I'm human. I was reacting. I was wet, right? And he did it. It's a rape.
Who raped
So
you? Who
he
raped
did.
you?
The guy.
Who raped you?
Come.
Okay.
The guy raped her.
Who
I
raped
don't
you?
get it.
Who
Who
raped
raped
you?
who at that point in
The
time?
guy raped me
Because
I'm telling him stop, right? Some men don't listen to stop.
Yeah.
Just because I was reacting to
Okay.
his touch. The
Exactly,
reason why
exactly. That's
the
my
reason why I
point.
give the example why is that a woman might be touching a man, right? It doesn't want to, but he's getting an erection.
Yeah, that's also. Are we going to say
No.
Sure.
No.
You're the most serious note.
Sure.
No.
Let me tell you. Let's cut the crap.
Okay.
Hold on.
Oh,
You said
no.
we shouldn't even go.
No. Let's
Let's cut
So
the
you're telling me that if you're mad and you say you don't want to have
You don't
sex,
want to.
You
a
cannot
woman-
have
And
erection.
you're
you
touching
cannot, you will not have
I will not.
erection.
No.
I've been around.
Real
Then you're
bullshit.
just not attracted.
No. Okay, let me
Hold
give
on.
you an example, my
How
friend.
many
No.
gay?
He might not like what I'm saying.
No,
now.
hold on.
Well, sorry, please.
I've been around naked girls before.
And you didn't get on hard.
Maybe
You know-
you was there
You like
touching
girl.
you.
No. That
You like that?
That scenario
Hold
is
on.
different.
You were not being touched, right? But
Okay, let me
just
ask
that,
you.
just that you zero
hold
your
on,
mind
hold on.
off.
You with that kind of situation.
Yeah.
When I told you, what did you say? You said, Kojo.
I mean,
No, you're
it's
not
true.
being clear.
No,
You
you're not
say
being
that
clear.
you've been in a place with a lot of women with titties and stuff. You
Yeah.
didn't get excited.
Yeah.
That's different.
nothing.
That's-
I'd be in
that's
a room with a whole
different.
bunch of guy with penises.
That's different.
And
So
I don't care.
I don't want to see
But
that
listen,
as for me.
you
I
said-
see it as
listen.
rape.
You guys don't believe that a guy there can be a guy who can be the president of naked women. and
Listen,
nothing
we're
wrong.
not
not
the
talking
point.
about
Hold
that.
on, hold on.
We're not talking about that.
okay.
Why you are opening your mouth and you saying no? We're touching you, rubbing you everywhere, your nipple, bataza, everything.
Well,
and
that is-
you don't get on hard.
That is-
You will.
No.
So
No.
let me give an example
No.
of a friend.
No,
Let me give a,
I even want to hear that
if he
example.
watch
Let's hear him out.
he
Let's
might
hear
watch
him out.
it, he might not like it, but I'm sorry. Let me say that first. I'm sorry.
Okay.
He was raped by 6 ladies, with the lady making it 7.
Okay.
What happened was he was checking one lady. He was checking one lady, and the lady was like, okay, you know what? Okay, I've heard of you. You know what? Okay, meet at my place. And he was like, jackpot. Today, now voila. But when he got in, he off his clothes. The other 6 ladies came in. And he has no choice. He had to do everything. When he finished, he said, man, sometimes some men don't, that for me,
That is no rape.
That is what.
Listen, you know what?
That is not rape.
That's funny the way that you
So
just
that
said
is
that.
what?
That is
Listen,
not
Soji.
fucking rape.
So
Soji,
it's what?
that is rape.
No.
But the way you just said
No.
it, right?
Yeah.
You know what? We did that to one of my friends before. It's a guy friend before, right? And he was so excited that when he
It's
saw
rape.
all the women, and we did it because he's a hoe. We know that he fucks pussy a lot. So when I got home, we tricked him. He came over when I put handcuffs on him. Now it's about 1, 2, 3, about 6 of us.
Wonderful.
And you know what I'm saying? You said that wonderful too. But when we handcuffed him and stuff like that, he was so excited that he got soft.
yes.
His thing got big.
Exactly.
No, it got hard.
If we get hard, what
it
will
got
get hard?
But then when we
When you guys started, the
got
journey
started.
of a million, how they say, million miles, start with a full step.
That is
So,
what
Yeah.
to some men, the concept was coming from just one lady. But when he got there, it was met. That's rape from the other lady.
Hold on.
Because his concept wasn't there.
Not yes.
Hold on.
how far we rape him?
Hold on. Okay.
So wait, let me ask a question now.
Okay.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think, for the lady or for the man, do you think that can lead to trauma? Or
Yes, because my friend that I'm talking about, he was so hurt. Like a couple of days later, he wasn't talking to me, and that's like my best friend. So I kept calling him, and then finally he came over. My mom cooked, and we're sitting and we're eating and stuff like that. He was like, "Man, you are so wrong. You stayed there, Nadu. You let this happen to me."
Come
I said,
on.
"Ogami, you like Toto. I gave you Toto. You had 6 Toto. What's wrong? How can you let them do this to me?" I'm like, I don't get it. What are you so mad? He was like, because I was there and I
you
was
used his
naked.
best food
And I
to overfeed
abused
him.
Okay,
You have that.
okay.
So are we going to
See,
start?
it's
My own is still
men
this.
can get raped.
I'm not.
Men can get
no,
raped.
you are getting me wrong.
And it can lead to trauma for some
Hold on.
men.
You don't even allow me to finish my
Oh, yeah.
point.
Okay,
what
we're
you-
listening.
I'm not saying men don't get raped.
But you saying that you won't
Hold
get
on,
up, that's bullshit.
hold on.
You will get up.
No, I will not. Let me tell you.
Okay.
When we want to talk about a lady being raped, it doesn't come easy, right? It comes with forcing, beating.
No, it doesn't necessarily have
Hold
to
on.
come with forcing.
That's it.
Like the way
See,
It doesn't necessarily have to come
see,
with
you know what?
forcing.
Hold on,
A
hold on.
simple no is
No,
okay.
I was the one who first said it, that when they tell you no, a no should be no. But I'm just saying it from way back. You understand me? When a girl get raped, it has to come with force, right? But these days, you don't have to force a girl to get her raped. If a girl tell you no, and you say, oh, you haven't sex. Oh, I'm dumb. I was the one who said it first. But what I'm saying is that for a guy to get raped, tell me that your friend did they mail his face before
Life.
they beat his
He won't like this. I'm telling you.
Hold on. Did they beat his
You know the way they beat him? Yes. You know the funniest thing when he's
We didn't
wait
beat him.
when he's
That was
wait
no
Well,
rape.
we
That
wait
was-
when he
that was
when he
no rape.
said that story, I was like, in my man, Lamba.
Okay,
You
how
know,
about this?
but
What
you
if
know the
man
funniest
get
thing?
drugged?
But you know the funniest thing? I had a friend. I had
What
a
if
friend
the
that
man
went to
get
that
drugged?
same school. I had to call that friend.
Get drunk.
And confirm
Drugged,
the
like
friend
put
said
something in his drink.
true. They did that.
It can't work with me because
So,
if I'm
no,
drunk, I
see,
won't. I
Not
won't-
drunk, drugged.
So when you're
Drug.
drunk, yeah,
Yeah.
drug. So when you passed out, you did just want to come on hard. How? That's not possible.
No.
Okay.
the
I
state
don't
of the
think,
mind.
I don't think we will.
No,
I don't think we will end this today.
But let me make my point finish. Sorry.
Okay.
What I'm saying is that for guys, for ladies, everybody passes through one or two traumas in life. Oh, forget about Nigeria. Africa generally is a land of trauma.
Yes,
You've no food to eat. That's
that's true.
too
No
traumatic.
light.
No light.
Yeah.
I could
No
remember
way to
when
get
my
to
daughter
school.
went back home. They took light, and she was like, "Oh my God, I'm going back tomorrow." You were born there, girl. So knock it off. We've passed through time we don't have light, but because it's been a while, she doesn't even want to. You tell her you're going back to Nigeria, we're buying together. Say, no, please let me stay. I'm not. So land of trauma. But I would advise people speak about it. The more you speak about it, the more you let go and forgive yourself. And try to forgive whoever makes you pass through the
What's that
trauma.
new thing that's been going on? that trend that's been going on social media.
Try to round up with your.
Yeah.
How do you
what's
think?
What's the thing that's been going on the social media when they're like, we don't judge.
Yeah,
We what? What is it?
Hey, we listen with
we
don't
listen
judge.
with don't-
Exactly.
Don't judge,
That's how you deal with trauma. You don't judge. We just
Yeah.
communication. You talk. Because that's the only way you can keep it in. If you keep it in, it will kill you inside.
And confide in people
Yeah,
you
and
trust.
like, and then
yeah.
even when you talk to somebody and they mock you or whatever and stuff like that, it's
on.
okay. Move on. But do not hold it in because it will be your end of you. That's you killing yourself. Whenever anybody do anything to you, whatever trauma that you're holding on from the past and everything, you have to open up about it. You have to take it out because there's nothing that's keeping darkness that will ever be good for you. So yeah, communication is always the best part. Let it out.
So with me for trauma, I've reached a point whereby I don't care or give a F about what anyone has to say about me.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
I'm at that point. Like even if I tell you my story and you go back outside tomorrow and you're spreading it, I don't care. Like
Bullshit.
originally, I beat myself way too much about the old thing that whatever you have to say cannot hurt me one pinch more than the way that I've
What you do to them?
hurt myself.
Deuces, bitch. Like,
And one thing I've come to, I don't know if for generally, but for myself, I've come to realize that trauma is not gonna like go away from me. To me, I feel like trauma is more like addiction. You see people, they'll be doing drugs and they stay away from those for like 10 years clean. And they will go back to it like one time again and their world is always upside down. You can deal with your trauma for like years and you're okay, but one scenario might happen and everything will come back again. You understand? So it's always the way we always. So sometimes when I have a flashback and I'm beating myself down, I just call my friends. Sometimes I don't even want to talk to anybody about it. Like I would just let myself go through it. And sometimes I'll call my friend and talk. And that alone really helps a lot. And then I hit the gym, work myself out. You understand? But it's just always the way we like respond to it that really matters like that. So yeah.
Well, I would say it's always good to communicate to people or to share your views with people that I believe you have confidence in, so that it will relieve you of any trauma you're going about that is affecting you, so that one can live longer. I mean, in this present day of of the country generally or globally, that's my take about that.
Well, I would say, like she said, talk to get a therapist. They might not get you a solution, but they might get you how I call it a procedure or a way of life that might improve you, but it's now left to you as an individual on how do you want to work on it. Do you want to still look for people, talk to people, or do you want to, like you say, eat the gym, do something?
It takes a bold step.
Yeah.
Sorry for how to do that, as in think on your own to maybe fall into gym or fall into anything.
That's American stuff.
Best
That's
thing
Western
is
stuff. She's
hearing it out to
westernized.
people that you trust.
I mean, you can have other things you can engage yourself.
You can
maybe
engage in any other
music,
thing.
maybe
Some might
dancing.
engage. Some people might engage in drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which
So
which is the best anyway.
No, it's not.
There's a lot of German.
So that's why I said it depends on you
No,
as
not
an
to my
individual.
knowledge,
After
yeah.
going for therapy or you've talked to someone and they've
And
talked to
therapy
you.
is not an enemy. Don't forget to say
Yes,
that.
yes,
Because when you
it's
say
not an
therapy
enemy.
around Africans, they run.
Yes,
the other
they
way.
It's not,
No,
it's-
it's okay. Therapy is the best. It's the
It's
key.
literally
like
like,
we
yeah.
don't judge, we listen. Just come.
Okay.
Just go. Like they will help you navigate through. They might not give you solution,
Yeah,
but
they might not, but they will
definitely help you
navigate through it for you
Exactly.
and they will help you.
Oh,
The
the
therapist
last therapy
will-
session that I went
Therapist
to.
that is having his own something.
Yeah.
Trauma to deal with.
Okay,
Forget
okay.
it.
But if you can't, y'all call me. Look, inbox, whatever. I will be there. You can talk to me.
Okay.
Okay. I will listen.
Okay.
So, son of Jesus, T for Tony, Google me. Son of Jesus. We will listen. We'll communicate.
Thank you everyone for watching, and please kindly like, subscribe, and share. Please. Thank you all. Have a wonderful day.